Hello and welcome back to another episode of Creators Corner, the talk show where I spotlight student creators on Longwood University's campus, and I am your host, Akila Williams, and today is a very special episode with a very special guest, so let's get right into it. Today's guest is a talented embroiderer from Chesterfield, Virginia. She's a junior majoring in elementary education and the founder and president of Longwood's Embroidery Club. What started out as a hobby in 2021 has grown into a campus community that encourages students to slow down, connect, and express themselves through needle and thread. So I would like to welcome Madison Howell. So thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
So my first question for you. You've been doing embroidery since 2021. So what first drew you to it, and how did you start learning about the craft?
I started during COVID just because I was sitting around my house. I wanted a hobby to pick up while I was just sitting there doing nothing. I hadn't really learned anything like sewing or anything, and I just thought it was a really cool idea. So I went to Amazon and I looked up some beginner kits that I thought looked interesting, and that's really how I started.
So when you sit down to embroider, what's your process like? Do you plan your designs ahead of time, or do you let your creativity flow as you go?
I always plan before I do anything. I start by sketching or finding a picture that I want to do, and I will always draw it out and then sketch it onto the canvas that I'm doing it on, just so that I don't mess anything up.
Okay. You recently started the Embroidery Club here at Longwood, and you serve as president. So what inspired you to create that space, and how has it grown so far?
Yeah, so I just wanted to find a group of people that enjoy to do embroidery like I do, or I am an education major, so I do enjoy teaching people things. And I've had many people express to me that embroidery seems cool and that they'd be interested to learn. So I thought, I have a community of people that I can find, and I'd love to get them together.
Cool. So what do you love most about embroidery? Is it the process, the finished piece, or the way it lets you express yourself?
I love the finished piece. It's so pretty, it's timeless, and there are rules, but you don't have to follow the rules, and that's what I like about it. And it's just like drawing, but in a different form of media, which I think is really cool.
What do you hope students take away from being a part of the Embroidery Club, whether they're beginners or ready to create in another way?
I hope that they know that there's a space where they can connect with people about anything, and that they may not think they're an artist, but you're always going to be an artist, and you don't have to necessarily be the standard of good. You're still going to be good to somebody.
That's a great message, yes. And now Madison here is going to show off some of her embroidery work.
So this is typically the one that I show Longwood students first, just because it's such an icon. It's also kind of falling apart a little bit. And it's the rotunda, and it's just black lines. I really liked the idea of outlining things, and I thought this is such an iconic building for me, and so I have to do it.
How long does it usually take you to make something like that, from like tracing it out to actually like stitching it into the canvas?
That's a really good question, and I don't normally time myself doing things just because I find breaks in my schedule, and I just sit down and start working, and time really flies away from me. Certain things will be faster and certain things will be slower. This piece was pretty simple because it's just one color and not a lot of lines, but it did take me a little longer than I expected. This is the next piece that I typically love to show. This is a beautiful purple tree. I bought the tracing of this one online, so you can go out there and find it. I don't remember who the artist was, but I'm not claiming to take the print. But I thought it was gorgeous, and I wanted to do something big. And this is just a bunch of little dots, and I thought it was beautiful, and the use of color, and trees are just so beautiful and everywhere, so I'm in love with this one. I love this one because I love Disney, and I did design this one myself. Like many of my pieces, I get random pictures in my head, and so I just sketch them out, and this is one of them. So I just thought of the iconic Mickey and the Disney World castle, and I just did it around it. This is one of my first few pieces, so if I did it again, I'd do it a little differently, but it's still special in my heart. Do you want me to show you what I'm working on now?
You can.
Right now, I'm working on a little project for my roommate and I in our room. So it's just a little sign with our names on it. A little grilled cheese sandwich and the pancakes, because
So nice.
I love grilled cheese and she loves pancakes. And then we got some sparkly flowers going around.
So what do you typically do after your pieces are done? Do you just like keep them? Do you plan on selling them, create a business, or is it just like a hobby and like for yourself and like a creative outlet?
At the moment, it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
I've had somebody at the involvement fair, I was sitting out with my rotunda just to show people what they could make.
Yeah.
And somebody walked past and asked if I sold it on Etsy and told me that I should.
Yeah.
And I don't, just because it takes me a while to
Yeah.
do it and figuring out the pricing of everything. But if one day I do start doing that, it's not off the table.
What I'm assuming what you guys do at Embroidery Club, you're teaching people how to make designs, which I'm probably going to see earlier when I join you guys. Is that like mostly what the club is about?
Yeah, so the club is really just giving people time to create. I have pre-made kits that I've bought for people if they want to do that, but I also have blank canvases if they have their own ideas.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like give some people structure, which they need sometimes. Along with the structure, I create a theme for the semester just to help influence people.
Nice.
Because we've all been in a situation where we've gone to do something and we want to like draw or paint, but we don't know what we want to do. So I feel like hopefully I'm giving some people some ideas by giving them kits or giving them some words to influence them.
Yes. Madison, thank you so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate it.
Of course, thank you.
Yes. That concludes this episode of Creators Corner. Be sure to follow Madison and the Embroidery Club on Instagram to see their latest projects and events. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories from talented student creators, and I'll see you in the next episode.